So I'm very pleased to be joined with Marika Siewert and Brian Doerksen, and you guys have a new song out. It's called "In Search Of." Nice way to start the new year off. You release this song, but this isn't the first time that you guys have worked together. You guys have you've done some stuff before in the past. So what's that process like? Because I mean, it's interesting enough, I think, as a solo artist to just be like, hey, you have your routine of this is how you do it, but to collaborate with somebody must be an interesting experience too.
It is. You first.
Oh my goodness, me first? Wow. I mean, I can say this is that our paths, Marika and my paths crossed about 15 years ago when we cast Marika in a vocal role for a musical we were writing and then recording all of the soundtrack for, and she was just perfect for a role. A friend introduced us. And I think ever since then we have tried to come up with ways in which we could collaborate and make just our differences turn into like a harmony in some way that just made it more than two individual things, you know. And we released a single last year that we released a single this year. So it's yeah, we love collaborating on stuff.
So next
We
year
do.
there's something else in the works, right? You just got to keep this going.
Oh
I
yeah.
know. We do it pretty good. I mean, to me it's also really special when you find someone that you can collaborate with and trust. For me, I know in the sort of the Nashville world of Christian songwriting, you get into rooms where you don't even necessarily know the people, which I can do that too. Like I do that a lot in pop music, but to trust somebody with, sort of your faith story and your songs and yourself. Like there was even a period of time over Christmas where I wasn't actually doing so well health wise, and I was lying on the couch, in the music room, and Brian was on the piano, and we were literally writing while I was just kind of recovering. And you can't do that with a lot of people, but we've become really, really close, and our families are close. So it's actually just a lot of fun to collaborate together. And we just, finished a soundtrack and a screenplay for a movie, and we're just kind of continuing to dream together, and it's pretty special. So doing this song, I wouldn't have had it any other way.
Wow. So it must be, yeah, it must be this really cool moment for both of you, like working with a friend and like you were saying, not just making a song, but really something like with your faith where it's something, it's deeper. There's so much like impact and so much encouragement that these words and the music really holds for so many people that are going to hear it each and every time it's played.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, yeah, there's a vulnerability, I think, with writing music, with stepping in front of a microphone and singing music in the studio. It's like all of who you are is kind of like exposed in that moment. And to do that with somebody that you really trust, that
Mhm.
you really respect, that inspires you, because I can tell you something, Marika inspires me all the time. She blows me away with her just how she expresses herself, the things she's dreaming about, the things she's doing. Even as a black woman in Canada, she's acting, she's becoming a film director, she's writing something, like all of these things. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, it's just such a privilege just to not support her. That doesn't even sound, support isn't the right word, because it's just like just doing it together in a way
yeah,
that you see your efforts, both of your efforts multiplied. It's just such a joy.
That's
yeah. It's
that's
the same for me too. I know that people know Brian from the worship world, from his big songs. He's just released his Come Now Is the Time to Worship 25th anniversary edition, and Refiner's Fire, the new version is coming. And so even for him to step out and be, we have a joke that I'm going to make him into a Christian pop star now.
Mm.
It's the next part of his career. But, for him to even have it is to me, for someone who like him, who has had such an incredible career in the worship world, to step out and go, yeah, I'm going to sing this song with you, and we're going to go on the radio. It's a completely different thing. And so I really, I mean, I've always respected Brian. I'm always inspired by him too. But to have someone that you love and respect just step out in something new and go, yeah, let's try it and see what happens. I think every artist and every creative can learn from that.
Mhm.
And that's what is exciting for me to, to watch Brian also kind of move into that space that other people may go like, what is he doing in this space? But I go, oh, he's so welcome in this space. Let's just keep on, let's keep on being creative.
Yeah, that must be so cool because I'm sure you guys are both learning a lot from each other, just kind of watching your two worlds collide. So it's not
Hmm.
only
Yeah.
helping your collaboration, but it's like I'm sure you're picking up things from the other person that you can take into your solo music and everything as well. So kind of switching gears back to your song In Search of. So during that writing process and kind of coming up with the song, releasing it, what's the heart behind it? What's the message? What do you hope that listeners will take away?
For me, it's very much like I was given the song through my producer, Adam Watts. And obviously it was co-written with Phil Wickham, Gannon Arnold, and Adam. And it was a great song already. I just wanted to put a little bit of my spin onto it because I felt like it was very like male heavy. Like the lyrics were very, male, which in like, in a typical North American Christian world, I get it. But I'm also trying to make a space for people like me. And so I was like, can we make it more relatable? Like, let's not make it an us and them. And I think there was this really special sort of desperation in this song that
Hmm.
was very real to me. It's not it's not like a praise Jesus, like God is good, which are all good things. But for me, there's just this ache in the song that I really resonated with. And it's something that I think other people can relate to. And I've already gotten emails and messages of like, this is where I am right now. And you know that God is there, but it's not all like, roses and butterflies. And so I think what I wanted to do was be able to create just that experience for people. So I'm really, really stoked that it's getting heard across the airwaves right now. But yeah, and so Phil and Gannon and Adam graciously allowed me to kind of co-write. Well, I did. I co-wrote on the song and make it my own, which was really special. Um, I actually did make a solo version and we took it to our Prater promoters, but I was like, I really want Brian on this song, which was always like, I was like, is that weird to have him on the other song that we just released a song, now we have another song, but we just finished tour together and I just love singing with him, and his harmonies and his vocal on this song make it a better song. And the fact that we get to sing it together is pretty special. So
Mm. And for me, I will say one of the things that I just so resonated with this song is this universal, Marika used the word ache. I use the word maybe yearning, but and then how what people's present experience is can be transformed by love. And the way the song starts, she lays her head on the floor, a desert inside. That these words were just so evocative to me of what people feel like. And then getting to that chorus, I need a home that won't break down. And the reality is, I mean, by the grace of God, that's the kind of home I live in. That's the kind of home Marika lives in the sense of, our families. But our
mhm.
families are being strengthened by the unconditional love of God, of
Yeah.
community, and of all of these things. And there was just so many things about the song that I loved. So when she said, "Come on and sing it with me," I'm like, "Okay, here we go."
I guess I could do that.
Yes,
Mhm.
thank you, Brian.
Oh, that's awesome. So you guys were kind of mentioning some stuff that you have in the works, but is there anything else that you can kind of just tease or give a little sneak peek of what you guys each have in the future coming up?
Well, I mean, one of the things we are working on is trying to do as many in-person live concert experiences as we can. And most of the time for these events, Marika will be joining me in my band. So that's special. We just did a 10-city tour. We did a Christmas event together. We're actually hoping to come to Manitoba, possibly even as early as June of this year. We're
Yeah.
working on that right now. And she mentioned, we're working on a movie, a Christmas movie together. We the list is long. I'm really
It
excited.
is long, yeah.
I'm really excited because Marika is preparing to do her first full-length Christmas album, which I'm going to be involved with as a producer. I just believe in her voice and her songwriting and all of those things. So, and then she's helping, me. I've got like two whole albums worth of songs already written, standing by, waiting to figure out which is the right one to do first. And
Yeah.
so there's
And then
lots
he's
to
doing
come.
workshops. Let me talk about you too. Hold on a second. Hold on
Uh,
a second. So we're literally launching. We're just launching the Come Now's the Time to Worship tour. So Brian's never done this. Well, he's done it, but not in a long time. So I'm excited because he's celebrating the anniversary of Come Now's the Time and Refiner's Fire, which he's got a brand new version with Mission House. I don't know if you know them, but it's an amazing song that he wrote a new verse to, and it's amazing. But anyways, and then he's doing the Unlocking Your Songs workshop because he just launched that.
Mm.
And Father's House has their 35th anniversary.
no,
Am I wrong? 35th.
35th is
30th.
Refiner's Fire. It's 30th for Father's House.
30th. I know all these anniversaries, Brian.
Too much happening.
Anyways, there's all the things.
There you go. Wow. It's so exciting to hear. Like I just know, Brian, like I know a bunch of your songs, like I grew up singing them in like youth group in church. So having
Mm.
this like is pretty cool. And Marika, like seeing you guys just like how you guys go off each other. I'm like, this is so cool to see. Like you can just see like your genuine friendship and how your voices just work like it's just like a puzzle piece, you know? It's crazy. It's like you're
Aw,
professional singers or something.
thanks, Angela. Okay, wait. What is your favorite Brian Doerksen song?
I would say come now is the time to worship. I think
Okay.
I feel like that's just like a nostalgic one for me. That's one like the first one
Yes.
that comes to my head. Yeah. What about you?
Yeah.
You've gotten to work with him up
Which
close?
is my favorite? Oh my
Hmm.
goodness. Do I have to pick one? I don't know.
Yes.
That's definitely one of my favorites. Oh, the other thing he didn't tell you about is next week he's going to Nashville and he's going to be in the room with like the biggest worship leaders in the world, basically.
Wow.
On a pretty special project. But we can talk about that next interview.
Okay.
But I just have
Stay
to
tuned.
just let you know that. Yeah. Which was my favorite. I mean, Come Now's the Time is definitely okay. He has this song that I sang on tour called Remember Mercy that maybe not many people know, but
Mhm.
it literally has gotten like whenever I'm going through like an intense time, that is the song that I play on the piano and bawl my eyes out too. So that's definitely one of my top. So
Yeah. It's so interesting to like because it Brian, you're writing songs and then someone like Marika can come around and take one of your songs that you've put your heart and your soul into it and it's resonating with other people. So I'm sure you both have gotten a million messages of just how encouraging your music has been to people all around the globe. So what's that initial response like, especially when you have maybe like a new song and you're getting that first few comments about a song? What's that like to just see that's like, okay, like God is moving through me and people are connecting with this.
Well, I mean, I think every time you do something, it's always a risk because you're imagining something and you're responding to like a little hunch. Like it's like this little thought, this little seed that comes off. Oh, I think we should do this, or I think I should write a song about this. So it starts off so fragile, so tiny. It's like a little passing thought that you could just dismiss. And what we do as creative people is we learn to harvest those little seeds, those little thoughts, collect them, nurture them. And then at some point, you just kind of like, you just kind of like, oh, okay, let's see, and sometimes they're completely ignored. And then other times people respond and go, oh, that touches me. And then that's that kind of that full circle moment when you go, the virtuous cycle of, oh, it's so good to know that somebody else was experiencing some of what I was experiencing. I'm not alone. So the artist feels not alone, and the listener feels not alone. And that's that virtuous kind of connecting that I think, yeah, I mean, it's
Mm.
it's it's the beauty and why we do what we do.
Mm.
mm. I love I love seeing the comments, like both the Brian and I when we first started our careers, there was no social media, there wasn't this Facebook, there were like I think my first like tech thing was MySpace when it came to so I think now being a part of Brian and what he like Brian's career and what he does, seeing messages like recently of people that have resonated with his music for so many years and that it still resonates today. I think there's a whole new generation of worshipers, of people in general that will still be blessed by the music that he writes. And, I get to kind of come along for the ride and be a part of that and learn. I've learned so much as a songwriter from just sitting with him songwriting. And so, yeah, there's just really like a generational blessing that happens being able to continue to be creative and doing what we do. Because I know even a lot of artists during COVID either quit or just couldn't keep going. So every day I feel like it's just I just have such gratitude that we can keep being the artists that we feel like we can be. So
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I just want to thank you both for joining me this afternoon, chatting and sharing your heart behind your music and everything. It's been an encouragement. So, you guys are both sounding really busy in the upcoming months and the rest of the year. So, if people want to follow along with your journey, where's the best place that they can follow you?
Well,
probably our websites.
yeah, the usual spots, but one of the best things for me specifically is if they go to briandoerksen.com and then they sign up for my newsletter, then every, few weeks, I don't send out that many, but as soon as something's happening, a confirmed concert or an upcoming single or something, they're the first people that know. So that's definitely a good spot.
Yeah. So, when you come to
Yeah,
Manitoba in June, you said, if
Yes,
that's in the
exactly.
yeah.
works.
It will be announced. Yeah. And mine's the same. Mine is just marikasiewert.com. I'm an Instagram girl, so most of the time if people follow me just at marika.siewert. I'll mostly post stuff there. So
All right. Well, sounds good. Well, thank you both so much for joining me and hope you just wish you guys all the best in the future, continuing to encourage people with your music.
Thanks for
thank you
having
for
me.
having us. Yeah.